Hi, I'm John Decker, PGA instructor and author of the book, Golf is My Life, Glorifying God Through the Game. Today I want to work with you on two different shots. One is with the hybrid and one is with the fairway wood. And these are common clubs that you're going to be using on long par fours and on par fives. And really what I encourage all of my students to do is to have what I call a go-to club. And that's a club that you're going to be using a lot to advance the ball on the longer holes. Once you've hit your tee shot, hopefully you're in the fairway. You're not always going to be in the fairway, but hopefully you have a club that you feel confident with, that you can hit off the fairway, you can hit off the intermediate rough, you can hit out of the rough to get the ball down the fairway and advance it as far as possible and then go from there. Now for me, my go-to club is my hybrid. I have a 2 hybrid, and the reason I like my 2 hybrid versus my 3 wood, there's 2 reasons. Number one, the 3 wood is longer, so it's more difficult to hit. But number 2, the hybrid has more loft on it. So the extra loft makes it a little bit easier for me to get the ball in the air. So if I'm on a hole and I'm just trying to advance the ball, let's say I'm on a par 5 and I can't get there in 2 shots, and I'm trying to just advance it down as far as I can, let's say it's a really long hole, then I'm just going to hit my hybrid. I'm not going to worry about trying to hit my 3 wood because I can't get there anyway. And I'm going to try to play to a yardage that I like. So assuming that I need to hit a over 210 yard shot, I'm going to go with this. Now, if I'm in a situation where I feel like I can go for it, I'll hit my 3 wood. But I have to have a good lie to hit my 3 wood. I'm not going to hit my 3 wood at all out of this stuff. This is too heavy. So I'm going to start out with the 3 wood first, and we'll talk about what we're going to do. The main focus I want to do is just make sure, and I'm sweeping the ball, but I am hitting a little bit of the grass. So it's okay when you're hitting a fairway wood to hit a little bit of grass when you hit it. I'm going to make my normal swing and setup, just like this. So I hit that ball really well. On a good day, I'll hit this somewhere between 250 to 260 yards, depending on the lie, depending on the wind and the weather and everything. But it's a club that's, there's a risk factor. Normally on par 5s, there's trouble up there. There's water and bunkers and things like that. So I have to have a lot of things in my favor before I'm going to hit this, off the fairways. I tend to use my 3 wood really a lot on tighter holes. Maybe I don't need to hit a driver. Off the tee, I'll tend to hit my 3 wood a little bit more often. Now, let's go to my hybrid. Now we're in a situation where we're in the primary rough, okay? The good news is that we have a pretty good lie. The bad news is we're in the primary rough. And you have to understand, when you're in the primary rough, there's no physical way to get the club to the ball without hitting the grass. That's why I like the hybrid. The hybrid has more weight in it. It's a heavier club. It's going to get through the grass than the 3 wood will. And the way the design of it, they pull the weight back here in the back. They got some weight back here with my 3 wood. I have a TaylorMade. So my weight's back here. That's going to give me the ability to get the ball up in the air. And I've got weight in the bottom of the club as well. That's going to keep the club moving through the grass. The 3 wood's a little too light of a head to really get through the grass effectively. So I'm going to make the same swing. And one thing I do when I'm in heavy rough is I make sure to make a practice swing or two to feel the grass. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit my shot and just let the club do the work. I'm not going to try to force it, and just let the club do the work. See, that ball came out. Now, it did not go as far as it normally would. And I have to understand that. I'm not going to hit the ball. I mean, if I hit it well with this club off a good lie, I'll hit it somewhere between 220 and 230 yards, again, depending on the wind and the situation. There's no way out of this rough I can do that. So I have to be smart. If I'm 230 yards away and I'm trying to knock this on the green, that's not going to be a good play. I might be better off to take out an iron and play it from there. Now, if I get a situation where my ball is sitting way down in the rough, I don't even grab this club, and I certainly don't grab that club. That's where I grab a wedge, I hit it, get it out in the fairway, and then I go on. I take my medicine. Sometimes in golf, you got to take your medicine. Practice with your fairway wood. I encourage you to have have one fairway wood. I would not recommend a 3-wood for the average golfer. I would consult with your teacher, but something in the 5-wood or 7-wood range is a much better fairway wood for the average golfer. If you're a low handicapper, start really looking at your 3-wood and your hybrids, because there's usually some gaps in there, and you have to figure out. You got to use your noggin a little bit when you're out there on the golf course deciding which club to go with, because there's situations where you have to kind of pick your you have to look at the trouble, and you have to say, you know what, I just want to avoid the trouble. When I'm hitting these clubs, I'm trying to hit them far, but my number one goal is to avoid the trouble, because there's bunkers and water. There's always little landmines out there, so you got to be smart. But practice these shots so when you get on the golf course, you're going to improve. You're going to make good decisions.